So there's a story that has stuck with me for years now, and I'm not sure if it's one of these that's partially true or has evolved over time or what the deal is, but the message hits home, and to me that's what matters most. But there's this baker, we'll say she, Mrs. Jones, makes incredible cakes, and everyone that has them loves them. But she has this shop kind of tucked away, and it's just not very well known. She's kind of in her own little world, and making these cakes and trying to grow the business, but it's just not quite getting there. She's getting frustrated, and at one point starts looking around and go, well, maybe these aren't good. Like maybe I missed the mark, the wrong recipe. Maybe the cake game is just not for me, and it was a nice little hobby, let's close down shop. Until one day Oprah tries the cake, right? Oprah wanders in, and Oprah goes on her show, and she says, oh my God, I have these cakes in this small little bakery, mind-blowing, right? Well, Oprah is quite a megaphone to the world, so millions of people hear it, they rush to the shop. Of course they like the cake because the cake's amazing, becomes a global phenomenon, and the baker blows up, right? Metaphorically, just cakes everywhere, very successful overnight seemingly. And the question that I want to pose to you, and the question that I think holds the value here, is did the baker's product change? Did the baker become more valuable from the time she was unknown to the time, boom, Oprah says something and now she's a household name? No, it was the same product and the same value add. The world had just not seen it yet. And I think it's important to realize amidst the frustration of life, when you're not recognized for your, whatever your initiative is, whatever you're working on, whatever you're providing to the world, your output. Sometimes it can be frustrating to not get that validation. You have to understand, a lot of times it's just trudging uphill until you get to the peak or your mountaintop. It's a persistence game. And the tendency often is to think, well, I'm not good enough, or I'm like, you could be insanely close. Life comes at you very quick and it changes very quick. You're always one creation away. And having that understanding, that mindset, should reframe your pursuit. Like, you could be the baker that just hasn't been seen yet, the world just doesn't know about. And to get discouraged or break down or reinvent, would be a tragedy. You have your thing, your passion, and sometimes it's about just trusting that if you continue to serve others in the world in a way that's meaningful, life will open up for you. Two things can be true at once. The world judges, sometimes unfairly, but they also judge because it's the human condition, and we're not inclined to support or believe or understand things that aren't right in front of us. So there's this idea, we'll call it a concept that I wrote called the evolution of insanity. And you picture this woman, right, who has this idea, some sort of entrepreneur. And she's wandering, kind of tinkering with this idea every once in a while, does it after work, but starts to be, consumed by it, starts to really be excited by it, love the potential, the prospect of what it could become. She starts spending more and more time on weekends, not hanging out with her friends, doing her thing. Her friends think, okay, that's a little weird. It's a little standoffish. Okay, some judgment there. And then it becomes more and more the center of her universe. And eventually she leaves her job. And now she wakes up and she's working on this thing all day. She's saying no to everything else. The people in her life are saying, wow, that's odd, that's strange. She won't, come to our gatherings, she won't do things. She's always working on this thing on her laptop, chipping away, like wasting her life. That's crazy. That's insane. What a tragedy. And she sort of endures this until suddenly something works. And she gets this spark of validation, which becomes momentum, and just the snowball grows. And it's like, okay, this is working, this is working, this is working. Now it's real. Now people can see it. And, you know, those very same people who sort of pushed her off as crazy are saying, whoa, you're so lucky. That's pretty cool. Like, can you show me that? Can you teach us how to do that? You're standing on this mountaintop. Like, how can we stand on a mountaintop? Again, you're so lucky to be there. And she says, lucky? Do you know what I endured for this? Right? To call me lucky, you must be insane. Right? And it's like this sort of flipping the narrative on its head. Right? It's everyone wants what they're not willing to do themselves. And I think that's an important thing to remember. Just everything's crazy until it's not. If you walk down the street, you can truly look to your left and right and perceive the world around you as a culmination of acts of courage. From the cars that are driving by you, to the buildings, to the small businesses, to everything you see, street signs. Like, everything at one point was an idea or a concept that did not exist until someone had the courage to engage in the risk for the upside. I think I can bring this to the world. I think I can take this idea to market. There's an opportunity here, and it may fail, but I'm going to go all in. These are the things that are crazy until they're not. No one believes them, no one cares, they don't matter, until all of a sudden they do matter. Until all of a sudden your invention or your idea or your concept is in the hands of hundreds, thousands, millions of people, right? So just remember that. Sometimes it can be hard navigating a world without the support you want or feel you deserve. It can be hard to continue going when you're not feeling validated. That's hard on the human psyche, to go through something every day and not have that win. But it's coming, and you can't, outsource that. You can't depend on others to be that source of light for you. You have to be it for yourself. You have to dance before the metaphorical music plays. They'll get it at some point if you hang in there long enough, right? That is the evolution of insanity.